It's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead.
What's good? I know I trolled a little bit yesterday with the video for the 100% potential extreme intelligence final form cooler. This guy I actually do recommend maxing out. This guy's very good. Great alternative option for the physical version. I gave him full crits for this guy because the only special skill that he has as part of the super attack and passive is the rare chance to stun, so I figured it'd be better just to give him max levels toward criticals. Alright, so let's just go ahead and cover the stats a little bit. So leader skill, he does have agility, tech, and physical type, plus 2 key HP attack and defense, increase of 30%. Super attack will cause supreme damage with a rare chance to stun the enemy. Passive skill will increase attack by 90% at the start of the turn. So decent boost there. Link skills, he's got strongest clan in space, that's plus 2 key, thirst for conquest, 15% increase to attack, big bad bosses, 25% increase to attack and defense when HP is 80% or below. Brutal beatdown will add 10% to attack. Metamorphosis, 5% HP recovery, universe is most malevolent, 15% increase to attack, and then fierce battle will also increase attack by 15%. He does only fall into one category, which is the movie bosses, so that's pretty much the setup here, and that's the ideal setup for this guy. As you saw, maxed out at rainbow status, HP is at 14,129, attack is 13,507, and defense is 9,637. 12 key multiplier is 145%, so compared to the physical version, the passive skill is definitely severely lacking compared to that one, just because he only gets a 90% increase to attack, whereas the physical version gets an attack and defense increase of 100%. In addition to that, has the ability to launch additional attacks with the ability to have a super. So definitely lacking compared to that version, but maxed out at rainbow status, this guy can do very well, and I actually run him a lot on my movie bosses team. So I did finally pull the physical version final form cooler like the other week off Gohan's EZA banner, but no dupes on that guy, so obviously I'm going to pick the tech version over that one for the time being. And yeah, I mean, he does very well, and with the level 20 crits, he can hit for a very good amount. So I honestly rate this guy pretty highly, and I'm a big fan of this cooler card. I mean, not only do I like Cooler himself as a character, but this tech unit is also very, very nice. And he does link up very well with the Turles unit, just because they share quite a bit of link skills with each other. Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses, Fierce Battle are a couple of the ones they share, and then Turles obviously provides that 40% increase to attack for all allies, and also once he transforms, he'll reduce the super type enemies defense by 80%. So ideal setup for the Turles. Like you see right now, you've got the transform version and the regular version. Unfortunately, the enemy is a extreme type, so not benefiting from that 80% defense drop, but if you're fighting like super type enemies, this is like a very nice rotation setup. And obviously there's a hell of a reduction toward damage that Super Android 17 takes, so not really realistic as to the damage output here, but it'll give you an idea against like Super 17. You'll see what kind of damage potential he's got. Overall, it's definitely a fun unit, and I went with the method of level 20 criticals. You can certainly go a more balanced approach if you really want to. Certainly an option, but I do like criticals, and for this guy, it just seemed like it'd be better off just to allow him to hit as much as possible, given whoever he's fighting against. So you saw, 1.7, 1.8 million, obviously a little bit weaker in enemy, but regardless, still a great unit. And I rate him pretty highly, like I said. And he's a great alternative option if you don't have the physical version. And again, related to the last video, if you really want to grind to raise the SA, you could certainly raise this guy's SA by using the Extreme Intelligence version and go through the grinding process. But it's a little bit of a pain, so not really recommend it if you got the Kais for it. But if not, that's certainly an option. So they did pretty good, about 2 million there, not too bad. Like I said, pretty decent output. Not the best, but certainly good enough. So that's why I like the level 20 criticals, is it seems to activate quite a bit. So definitely nice to see him hit as hard as he is, as frequently as he can. So that is that's the route I went. I wouldn't necessarily say I'd recommend it, but I don't really have any regrets with that setup. So we're on the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta event, and it's one of the newer Dokkan events, so I figured it'd be a good occasion to test it out. So let's see how this guy does. And big bad bosses will activate once HP is 80% or below, so definitely a good idea to get it under 80%. Obviously, it's a little bit of a risk with the newer type enemies, but that 25% increase to attack and defense will certainly help. The super attack is definitely pretty funny too. I like it a lot, and it's a throwback to the film. It's almost like sit your ass down kind of thing. It's pretty amazing. It's a lot of fun. I'll say that much. So this is the rotation setup that I was talking about earlier, where against a super type enemy, this is a very nice setup. All the links are active, and the transformed and regular Turles is definitely helping out Cooler quite a bit. So yeah, 1.3 million against the Blue Vegeta, definitely nice output. I'm guessing a lot of people are actually surprised that he's able to hit this hard. I'm guessing a lot of people weren't really expecting these kind of figures. That's what I've heard in the past. I've done a video on it back when he was 90%, and it seems like a lot of people were surprised. So hopefully, since it is 100% potential now, for those that kind of recently joined the channel and recently found out about this cooler unit that I use quite a bit, yeah, hopefully it gave you an idea of what this guy's really capable of at 100% potential. It would have been nice if he did get some sort of defensive percent boost as part of the passive, like the physical version. Not quite 100%, but maybe like 40 to 50%. That would have made this guy very, very nice. Much better in terms of defending compared to what it currently is. Like right now, you only see the 90% increase to attack, so still a really good unit regardless. But I think with some sort of percent defense boost, it would have made this guy one of, I wouldn't say top tier, but close to it. And this Great Ape Turles is also maxed out at Rainbow status, so he's also a very nice unit, and I did do a video on it about a week ago, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. He's also a very good unit.